Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video, I am going to talk about the original work that was a slap on national television. This was done almost 40 years ago, back in July of 1982. Here is that.
If there were, would you? Because let me tell you something. My father said, my manager said, they all said that I had a right. I could have gone to a lawyer and I could have sued you for what you did, and I didn't. And I just, all I want is an apology. Even you asked me last time I was on your show if I was going to have a lawsuit, and I could have sued you. I could have sued you for everything you're worth. Well, I didn't, because I'm not that kind of a guy.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
What kind of a guy are you? No, I'm not the kind of guy you're.
I'll just be over here. We're going to pause here for station identification and get the hoses out here.
Now, that is the original. And when this was done, I had heard that basically Jerry Lawler had said when he saw this shit, I did that 40 years ago. And it's true. The thing is, it is difficult to catch these things when you're trying to do it, in a sense, live. That's why you have to have still shots before doing a video like this, because the odds of hitting it when you're rolling are slim to none. Because everything happens real fast. The thing is, there's plenty of videos out there, and I'm sure all of you have seen it by now, but when Will Smith is walking towards him, Chris Rock does not call him Will. He says, "Uh-oh, Richard." Which tells you right there, this is planned, because Chris Rock is not calling Will Smith by Will Smith. He is calling him by the character that Will Smith won an Oscar for. Will Smith is in character, and everything that follows this is also in character. The aspect of when the joke initially landed, Will Smith was laughing, yes, and maybe looking over at his wife reminded him, oh shit, I have this spot I'm supposed to do. And then he quickly, because actors can quickly get into character and do what they need to do for the role or the scene that they're trying to do. I had seen a video that Ozzy Man had done on YouTube. And in that one, he showed the audience, and I had not seen anyone else show this, but there was a picture of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the audience a few rows back. And he had a amused or puzzled look on his face, because he may have thought he was back in the WWE. Because this is classic pro wrestling. The thing is, Chris Rock's eyes are closed because he knows what's coming. He had stepped forward and gotten into position, has his chin out. In the wrestling jargon, Chris Rock was being the heel and essentially taunting Will Smith, who would have been the babyface because of the Oscar that he was up for getting. The thing is, there is the shot I couldn't get when I was rolling live. Notice how much of Will Smith's hand is not, he wouldn't have touched Chris Rock's face. The most Chris Rock would have been touched would have been with the fingertips. This was very well done. I want to give props to both Chris Rock and Will Smith. It takes two to dance. And this was done very well. It fooled a lot of people. The only ones it wouldn't have would be those that would be up on pro wrestling stunts. Because the thing is, what really sells it is the follow through, the sell. The act itself is so quick you can miss it. What people will remember is what's termed the finish. That's what sticks. So it was, the key to this was Chris Rock selling what was done. This is Pro Wrestling 101. And yes, the Rock, or Chris Rock, was in TNA, had an appearance in TNA not too long ago. Will Smith had an appearance in another wrestling event or show. And I think that was where Jeff Jarrett said he originally met Will Smith. The thing is, all of this is a very well-crafted stunt. I want everybody to be aware of just how much this was planned and what you can see with pictures like this, because even trying to capture it when the video is good, when you try to capture that instant, things are going so rapidly that it gets blurry, like as you see with Will Smith's hand. There is a blur because this is happening real quick. But 99% of Will Smith's hand was in front of Chris Rock's face. The most that would have touched Chris Rock would have been the fingertips. And if you're going to get slapped and it's just the fingertips, that's not a slap. That's nothing. I had seen one YouTube video actually had a fucking lawyer talking about this and a body language person talking about this. They're making fools of themselves. They're showing how much of a mark they are, that they do not understand. Both of these men are actors. Their profession is making you think something that isn't true. That's their job. And this is a prime example of the skill involved with acting. And I want to basically keep this picture up because it is the clearest evidence that this is a work. Don't be a mark for the media. The media is all about using bullshit to manipulate you. They've done it with COVID. They do it with everything. This is just another aspect of your being played. It was done to promote King Richard. I would say don't buy into it. Don't rent the movie on Netflix or whatnot. Don't give them money. That's what this is about. they're going to make a shit ton of money on that movie. People will want to see King Richard just because of this shit. The aspect of what's the payoff. What directly followed this? This led right into Will Smith getting the Oscar. That's called a setup delivery. Boom to boom. If this was not planned, Will Smith's getting the Oscar would not have directly followed it. This was a lead in to the Oscar award. You could say showing everyone why Will Smith got the Oscar for Best Actor in King Richard. Because he did the role so fucking well, he got all of you. It took pro wrestlers pointing out and laughing at this to really have people going, well, those that would have been more, to use the term, wrestling fans than I am, because I'm not the biggest wrestling fan in the world, but my initial radar was even, something's not right. But the acting is good. That both men played their part very well. And it can pull you in. But it didn't take me long to realize, wait a minute, this is a work. That is where you need to realize what is being shown to you. And I did want to give a bit of a shout out to Andy Kaufman, who has long since passed away, but also Jerry Lawler, because they were the originals of a stunt like this. This is nothing new. But it is something that people need to realize, because in reality, if somebody would try going on stage at a comedy club and hitting a comedian, number one, a lot of times, especially with a show like Chris Rock or a big celebrity, you're not going to get on stage. Security's going to stop you before you get there. Or if you do get there and you do assault the talent, the police are going to be there real quick to haul your ass away. They're not going to play around. Not like this. They're not going to hand you an award after you do it. Because this was part of the show. Because right after, when Will Smith is walking away, he's smiling. Because he knows he did his job. That was a brief flash of, to use the term, breaking character. It's things like Mark Calloway with The Undertaker. He barely ever broke character. There are actually, I think there's one video that I had seen that wrestlers were in the ring with, and Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, was there. After a show, they were trying to get Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, to break character. And I think Booker T was there and doing spinneroonies and so forth. Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, he would not break character. Because he was very focused on kayfabe. He lived the Undertaker gimmick. That was part of, because back at the time wrestling was big, back in the 80s and 90s, there would have been, if calling wrestling fake could have gotten you punched. it was that serious. There's stories of wrestlers that had literally people trying to stab them because they were a heel. I think Jesse Ventura had mentioned something like that. The thing is, these stunts are just that. They're stunts. And the only reason this has taken on the life that it has is the media has, to use the term, marked out on what's going on. And they don't realize they're being worked. This will not negatively affect either of them. Especially with the more people come out and point out that this is bullshit, the more people will realize they gotcha. But the truth of the matter is, nobody should go up and just hit someone for no reason. This was orchestrated. This was a work. Both men knew what they were going to be doing. They knew the position they had to be in. And both of them played this role, their roles, perfectly. I have to give props to both of them. They did very good. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.